Will Elon Musk succeed by forming the American Party? And what is the political pattern throughout US history? And why the US state keeps soaring inevitably? I'll try to break it down in one video. I'm definitely keeping up with Musk's drama this time. I firmly support him. Even if he doesn't fully succeed, he'll make them to pay a price. Only then can America get some progress. I do have some reasons for saying this. From the perspective of the US political system, in the long run, it will inevitably trend toward a two-party system with no room for third party. But that doesn't mean a third party can't emerge in short term. In fact, the temporary rise of a third party often drives progress in various aspects of American society. Yeah, you know, the Duberger's law, right? Which refers to a winner-takes-all electoral system. This model inevitably leads to a two-party system. In a winner-takes-all system, if one party grows dominant, the others must unite or they'll never compete. Eventually, these smaller factions consolidate into a second major party. The balance shifts back and forth until it stabilizes around a 50-50 split. Why does this happen? Suppose there's a small party here. If it can't secure enough benefits, its supporters will naturally migrate to the larger party. But once a party crosses 50%, it has no incentive to share power. Why cater to 52% when 51% is enough, right? So it focuses on its core 50%, splitting the spoils among them. If you push for 60% or 60%, the party will shade the excess 20%. Where do those 20% go? They'll shift to the opposing side. Thus, the two parties engage in endless competition, taking turns in power. This has been a pattern throughout US history. See, Duberger's law ensures a two-party system. The result is a deadlock, where party interests outweigh national interests. This is why US state keeps soaring. Resolving national debt. If one party compromises, the other gains an advantage, so the system inevitably leads to overrising national debt. But that doesn't mean Musk can't succeed in the short term. His strategy is very clear: win 2 to 3 Senate seats and about 10 House seats. With his massive influence on Twitter, where a single tweet reaches millions, right? He bypasses traditional campaign costs like ads and media buys. He could either form his own party or bank an existing faction, which he did with Trump. There are already many such groups. By securing a few seats, he'd carve out a niche. If he can make that niche more profitable for his allies than sticking with the majors, why wouldn't it work, right? But will the two giants allow it? Of course, they'll deploy every tactic to suppress any challenger. Even if Musk pulls off a short-term win, his influence could wane. Or they'd dig up dirt to discredit him. Eventually, the system would revert to its stable two-party equilibrium. Yet, this very turbulence drives the institutional progress in America. Let me give you a few examples. In 1912, Theodore Roosevelt founded the Progressive Party. A new party needs a platform, one that promises societal advancement. Or why would anyone support it? So Roosevelt championed urgent reforms, antitrust laws, labor protections like the 8-hour workday, and women's suffrage. He won 27% of the vote and 88 electoral votes, but lost the election. Afterward, the party dissolved and politics returned to the status quo. Next, in the 1960s, George Wallace launched the American Independent Party. A charismatic governor, he opposed racial segregation and discrimination, gaining significant traction. He secured 46 electoral votes. Though he failed, his anti-segregation stance shifted public opinion, forcing the major parties to adopt similar policies or risk losing voters to new factions. Then, in 1992, Ross Perot's Reform Party emerged, opposing outsourcing, elitism, and big government. He won 90% of the popular vote. So timeline-wise, 1912 to 1960s, around 50 years. Then 1960s to 1992, around 30 years. Now it's been another 30 years plus. Given this pattern, does Musk stand a real chance? Influence-wise, he may not match Roosevelt, but he surpasses Wallace and Perot. He owns his media platform. No need for costly ads like Wallace. A single tweet suffices. Plus, he has deep pockets. Funding a dozen candidates is trivial. And Musk knows he would push America forward. Sure, he exaggerates about Mars and business ventures, but his patriotism, I think, that is genuine. He'll pour everything into America's party. He'll pour everything into this American party. Now, some might ask, aren't you pro-China because you're Chinese? Why support Musk amid the US-China tech and trade wars? Let's be real. I don't give a fuck to those oligarchs, but the ordinary Americans are my concerns. The people, regardless nationalities, race, religions, or anything else. It doesn't matter. We are all the people. We should unite. Follow me? We are the People's Party.